Scientology, the word itself, sparks debate and ignites passionate discussions. For some, it represents a path to spiritual enlightenment, a journey towards self-discovery and personal growth. For others, it's a dangerous cult, an organization that manipulates and controls its followers. At the heart of this controversy lies its claim to charitable status, a status now under intense scrutiny and debate. How can an organization accused of abuse and exploitation be deemed charitable? This question challenges the very definition of what it means to be a charity. This is the question echoing around the globe, resonating with those who have been affected and those who seek justice. Scientology has long been shrouded in secrecy, its operations cloaked in mystery. Its inner workings, hidden from public view, create an aura of suspicion and intrigue. But behind the carefully crafted image, a darker truth emerges, one that reveals the organization's true nature, one of manipulation, intimidation, and potential harm, affecting countless lives. This essay delves into the reasons why Scientology lost its charitable status, focusing on its disturbing stance on mental health and the devastating impact on its members. The organization's practices have raised serious ethical and legal concerns. This isn't just about taxes, it's about accountability, transparency, and the moral responsibility of organizations. It's about protecting individuals from an organization that preys on the vulnerable, exploiting their fears and insecurities. It's about exposing the truth, shedding light on the hidden practices, and ensuring that justice is served. L. Ron Hubbard, Scientology's founder, declared war on psychiatry. He called it a barbaric practice. He believed mental illness didn't exist. Instead, he offered Scientology as the answer. His word became gospel for Scientologists. Scientology teaches that mental health issues are spiritual problems that can be solved through their expensive courses and auditing sessions. Traditional therapy is shunned, psychiatric medication is condemned. This stance, rooted in Hubbard's beliefs, has had tragic consequences. Scientologists with real mental health needs are often denied proper care. They are told to rely solely on Scientology's methods. This can lead to a worsening of their condition and even put their lives at risk. The tragic death of Lisa McPherson in 1995 shocked the world and left a lasting impact on how we view certain religious practices. Her death cast a harsh spotlight on Scientology's practices, leading to widespread public outcry and media scrutiny. McPherson, a dedicated Scientologist, suffered a severe mental breakdown that left her in a vulnerable state. Instead of seeking professional medical help, her fellow Scientologists took her to a Scientology-run facility, believing their methods would be more effective. She was held there for 17 days, during which she received no medical care or proper treatment. Isolated from the outside world, her condition deteriorated rapidly, with no contact allowed with family or friends. When she finally arrived at a hospital, it was tragically too late. She was pronounced dead upon arrival, a devastating end to her suffering. McPherson's death sparked outrage and led to multiple investigations into the practices of Scientology. Scientology's role in her death became a focal point for both legal and public scrutiny, raising questions about their methods. The organization faced serious charges of wrongful death and practicing medicine without a license, bringing them into the legal spotlight. Though the charges were later dropped, the case remains a chilling example of the potential dangers of Scientology's approach to mental health, and it continues to be a topic of discussion and concern. Scientology's controversial practices haven't gone unnoticed. Governments around the world have taken action. In the United Kingdom, the Charity Commission stripped Scientology of its charitable status. They ruled that Scientology did not provide a public benefit and operated for the private gain of its members. Australia followed suit, with experts calling Scientology a commercial enterprise masquerading as a religion. They cited concerns about financial irregularities and the organisation's impact on mental health. The Australian government launched investigations, further jeopardising Scientology's standing. These actions sent a clear message. Scientology's claims of being a charitable organisation are being challenged. The world is watching. Section 5, Voices from the Inside, Tales of Abuse. This section delves deep into the harrowing experiences of those who have lived through the dark side of Scientology. Behind the legal battles, it's the personal stories that are most harrowing. These stories reveal the true extent of the suffering endured by former members. Former members have come forward with disturbing accounts of their time within Scientology. Their testimonies shed light on the hidden abuses that occur behind closed doors. They speak of emotional and physical abuse, recounting incidents that have left lasting scars on their lives. Many describe being pressured to disconnect from loved ones who questioned the organization. This isolation tactic is a common theme in their stories. One former member, Sarah, shared her story. Her voice trembled as she recounted her experiences. "I was told my depression was a sign of weakness," she said. "Instead of receiving help, I was shamed and blamed." Sarah was pressured to spend thousands of dollars on courses that promised happiness, but left her feeling emptier than ever. The financial burden added to her emotional distress. Another former member, John, described the intense pressure to conform. His story echoes the experiences of many others. "You are constantly being watched," he said. "Every move is monitored and any sign of dissent is met with punishment." John lived in fear, always looking over his shoulder, never feeling safe. The constant surveillance took a toll on his mental health. These are just a few voices among many, and each story adds to the growing evidence of systemic abuse within the organization. Their stories paint a picture of an organization that operates through control, intimidation, and exploitation. The courage of these former members in speaking out cannot be overstated. Their voices are a call for justice and change. Section 6. The Price of Belief. Financial Exploitation. Scientology claims to offer a path to spiritual freedom, but that freedom comes at a steep price. Former members allege that the organization is obsessed with money. They describe relentless pressure to donate, to purchase expensive courses, to climb the bridge to total freedom. This bridge is a series of levels Scientologists believe will lead to spiritual enlightenment. Each level requires costly courses and auditing sessions. Members often go into debt, sacrificing their financial security in pursuit of Scientology's promises. Critics argue that this emphasis on money is a clear indication that Scientology is more interested in profit than in the spiritual well-being of its members. Section 7. Disconnection, tearing families apart. One of Scientology's most controversial policies is disconnection. This policy mandates that Scientologists cut off all contact with anyone deemed critical of the organization. This includes family members, friends, and even spouses. The impact of disconnection is devastating. Families are torn apart, relationships are shattered, individuals are left isolated and alone. Scientology justifies this policy as a way to protect its members from suppressive persons. But critics argue it is a form of emotional blackmail used to silence dissent and maintain control. Section 8. The Fight for Accountability. The fight against Scientology is far from over. Former members, advocates, and lawmakers continue to push for greater transparency and accountability. They are demanding investigations into Scientology's finances, its practices, and its treatment of its members. Lawsuits filed by former members allege a pattern of abuse and exploitation. They seek justice for the harm they endured and hope to prevent others from suffering the same fate. The fight is about more than just exposing Scientology's secrets. It's about holding the organization accountable for its actions. Section 9. The Future of Scientology. Scientology faces an uncertain future. The loss of its charitable status in several countries has dealt a significant blow. Public scrutiny is intensifying, and the voices of former members are growing louder. The organization continues to defend itself against allegations of wrongdoing, but the evidence against it is mounting. The world is waking up to the truth about Scientology. The question is, how long can it hold on? Section 10. A Call for Protection. The story of Scientology is a cautionary tale. It serves as a reminder of the importance of critical thinking and the dangers of unchecked power. It highlights the need for stronger protections for individuals who fall prey to organizations that prioritize profit over people. We must remain vigilant. We must listen to the stories of those who have been harmed, and we must work together to ensure that organizations like Scientology are held accountable for their actions. The fight for justice continues.